Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. I did not do a show yesterday, but I did do a NBA Finals monologue show on Sunday night. So we'll just get started. Stanley Cup Final also concluded over the weekend as the Carolina Hurricanes win it 3-0 over the Vegas Golden Knights to win the series in 6 and to win their second Stanley Cup in franchise history, their first one in 20 years. First period, Taylor Hall scores to make it 1-0. Second period, Jackson Blake makes it 2-0, and then Nikolaj Ehlers into the empty net on assist and makes it 3-0. And the Canes are your 2026 Stanley Cup champions, and they went 16-3 in the playoffs just like the Knicks did. But I honestly think that this road for them was a little weaker. So congrats to Carolina. They finally won with this core. Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, that whole group. Ron Brindamore's finally a Stanley Cup champion as a coach. And they earned it. They did a great job in their run. They had some close calls and some crazy comebacks, but I think they'll be back next year, the Canes. I think the division will be better, especially with the prospect of the Rangers getting better. The Islanders were a surprise for a while last year. We'll see about Washington. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to repeat the year they had. We'll see about Philly. But I do expect Carolina to be division favorites and among the favorites to go to the Stanley Cup final in the East again next year. But I think the Atlantic Division is where the real competition is, especially unless if the Rangers and the Devils are better next year. But with Tampa and Florida, you would expect to be better. Boston, you think is going to be better. Toronto, we'll see. Buffalo, will they repeat the year? So Carolina should be the favorites to go back to the Stanley Cup final next year in the East. And meanwhile, Vegas, they had a great run. But then again, you can make a case they were the team outside of the sweep of the Avalanche that had the easy road to the Stanley Cup final. But that was the team that also underachieved in the regular season to the point where they made a coaching change, and it looks like they're going to make another one. John Tortorella is not coming back. I wonder if they're going to just rehire Bruce Cassidy and admit their mistake. And then one more thing with Carolina, Jordan Stahl's finally a Stanley Cup champion, so that's pretty cool to see. But Vegas, I think, will be back in the mix next year. I think that their biggest challenge is obviously Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. But there's a couple teams that will be in the mix in the West next year. Anaheim, we'll see what happens with them. Edmonton has a new coach. Will the Blackhawks finally be better with Connor Bedard? We'll see. So, yeah, a lot of subplots here at hockey, and it was a fun run. Okay, baseball. We'll go over the weekend and yesterday and look ahead to tonight. Friday, Marlins over the Pirates 8-3, Mariners over the Nats 10-2, O's over the Padres 7-3, Guardians over the Tigers 3-2, Jays over the Yankees 8-5, Red Sox over the Rangers 10-1, D-backs over the Reds 5-2, Mets over the Braves 7-5, White Sox over the Dodgers 8-2, Brewers over the Phillies 6-0, Astros over the Royals 10-8, Twins over the Cards 9-8, Angels over the Rays 4-3, A's over the Rockies 6-4, and the Cubs over the Giants 5-1. Saturday, Cards over the Twins 9-6, Pirates over the Marlins 3-2, Padres over the O's 9-3, Nats over the Mariners 8-3, Reds over the D-backs 2-1, Braves over the Mets 3-1, Guardians over the Tigers 3-1, Red Sox over the Rangers 6-3. Yankees over the Jays 3-1. Dodgers over the White Sox 7-1. Astros over the Royals 8-7. Phillies over the Brewers 9-8. Cubs over the Giants 6-1. A's over the Rockies 7-5. Angels over the Rays 8-0. Sunday, Marlins over the Pirates 4-2. Padres over the O's 5-2. Nats over the Mariners 10-1. D-backs over the Reds 5-3. Yankees over the Jays 8-3. Mets over the Braves 8-1. Tigers, Guardians postponed. Make-up date September 4th. Royals over the Astros 4-0. White Sox over the Dodgers 6-4. Brewers over the Phillies 4-0. Twins over the Cards 5-4. Rockies over the A's 23-9. Giants over the Cubs 5-1. Rays over the Angels 8-3. And the Rangers over the Red Sox 6-4. And then yesterday, Phillies over the Marlins 7-0. Nats over the Royals 7-3. Reds over the Mets 12-0. Cards over the Padres 3-0. Cubs over the Rockies 5-4. Twins over the Rangers 4-2. Tigers over the Astros 9-3. D-backs over the Angels 4-3. A's over the Pirates 11-2. And the Dodgers over the Rays 4-3. All right, 6:30 Marlins Phillies. Tyler Phillips and Jesus Luzardo. Phillies minus 178. Marlins plus 150. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 140. Phillies minus 1.5 plus 116. I'm gonna go with the over, but I don't feel good about it. Royals Nats 645. Michael Wacha and Foster Griffin. Nats minus 134. Royals plus 114. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Royals plus 1.5 minus 192. Nats minus 1.5 plus 158. I'm going to go with the Royals on the money line plus 114. Jays Red Sox from Fenway. Dylan Cease and Peyton Tolley. Jays minus 120, Red Sox plus 102, over under 7.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Jays minus 1.5 plus 140, Red Sox plus 1.5 minus 170. I like the under. 7 o'clock, Yankees hosting the White Sox. Oh, so the Yanks are home. Davis Martin and Garrett Cole. So another prove-it series for the White Sox after that Dodgers series. Yanks minus 144, White Sox plus 122, over under 7.5, overs minus 122, unders even money. White Sox plus 1.5 minus 178, Yankees minus 1.5 plus 146. So I like the under. Mets Reds. Cody Senga and Brady Singer. Mets minus 124, Reds plus 106, over under 9.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Mets minus 1.5 plus 130, Reds plus 1.5 minus 156. I like the over a lot. 7:15 Giants Braves. Adrian Hauser and Grant Holmes. Braves minus 166, Giants plus 140, over under 9, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Giants plus 1.5 minus 144, Braves minus 1.5 plus 120. I like the over. 7:40 Guardians Brewers. Brewers minus 154, Guardians plus 130, over under 8, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Guardians plus 1.5 minus 162, Brewers minus 1.5 plus 134. I like the over. 7:45 on TBS, Padres Cardinals. Michael King and Andre Palante. Cards minus 118, Rockies even money, or Padres even money, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Padres minus 1.5 plus 172, Cards plus 1.5 minus 10. I'm going to go with the Padres even money. 8 o'clock, Rockies Cubs. Ryan Feltner and Edward Cabrera. Cubs minus 198, Rockies plus 166, over under 9.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Rockies plus 1.5 minus 135, Cubs minus 1.5 plus 104. I'm going to take the over. So a lot of overs today. Twins Rangers. Zebby Matthews and Coomer Rocker. Rangers minus 134, Twins plus 114, over under 8.5, overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Twins plus 1.5 minus 192, Rangers minus 1.5 plus 158. I like the over. Tigers Astros. Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown Valdez against his old team. Astros minus 174, Tigers plus 146, over under 8.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Tigers plus 1.5 minus 156, Astros minus 1.5 plus 130. I'm going to go all under 7.5 plus 114. 9:30 Angels D-backs. Reed Detmers and Merrill Kelly. D-backs -110, Angels -106, over under 8.5, overs -124, unders +102. Angels -1.5, +146, D-backs +1.5, -178. I like the D-backs at home, -110. O's Mariners. Brandon Young and Logan Gilbert. Mariners -154, O's +130, over under 7.5, overs -115, unders -105. O's +1.5, -176, Mariners -1.5, +146. I like the over in that one. Two more Pirates A's. Mitch Keller and Jack Perkins. A's -138, Pirates +118, over under 10.5, overs -124, unders +102. Pirates +1.5, -176, A's -1.5, +146. I like the Pirates +118. And last but not least, Rays Dodgers at 10. Drew Rasmussen and Justin Werbelski. Dodgers -148, Rays +126, over under 8.5, overs +102, unders -124. Rays +1.5, -178, Dodgers -1.5, +146. I'm gonna go all under 7.5, +108. So there you have it for baseball. Now move on to the WNBA. We'll go over the results from Friday until Monday and look ahead to tonight. Friday, Mystics over the Tempo, 86-85. Valkyries over the Storm, 76-72. It's still Commissioner's Cup. Saturday, Fever over the Sun, 85-75. Aces over the Lakes, 197. Fire over the Wigs, 84-83. Sparks over the Mercury, 111-102 OT. Sunday, Liberty over the Mystics, 86-64. Dream over the Tempo, 102-77. And then yesterday, Wings over the Aces, 96-66. Lynx over the Fire, 107-74. And Valkyries over the Sparks, 78-58. One game tonight. Commissioner's Cup, 7 o'clock on USA. Tempo Fever. I expect the Fever to be favored. And they are 8.5. Total is 180.5. That's too high of a total. I'm going to take the under. Okay, FIFA. We'll go over all the games. And then we'll pick the games for tonight. And the 2 afternoon games tomorrow. So, Friday, Group B, Canada, Bosnia-Herzegovina, 1-1 draw. Group D, US over Paraguay, 4-1. Saturday, Qatar, Switzerland, 1-1 draw in Group B. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, 1-1 draw. Group C, Scotland over Haiti, 1-0. Group D, Australia over Turkey, 2-0. Sunday, Group B, Germany over Curacao, 7-1. Group F, Netherlands, Japan, 2-2 draw. Group B, Ivory Coast over Ecuador, 1-0. Group F, Sweden over Tunisia, 5-1. And then Monday, Group H, Spain, Cape Verde, 0-0 draw. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, 1-1 draw. Group H, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, 1-1 draw. And Group G, Iran, New Zealand, 2-2 draw. Imagine betting all the draws and putting $10 on it. You would have been rich. All right, and then one afternoon final, take Group I, France over Senegal, 3-1. All right, so 6 o'clock on Fox tonight is Iraq and Norway, Group I. So Norway's -450. Iraq is 11-1. The draw's +550. Iraq stinks. I'm gonna go over 3.5 goals, +154. 9 o'clock on Fox, Argentina and Algeria, Group J. Argentina -240, Algeria 7-1. The draw's +360. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals, -104. And at midnight tonight, Fox Sports 1, Austria, Jordan. Austria -280, Jordan 8-1. The draw's +410. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals, +104. And then the 2 afternoon games tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Fox, Portugal and Congo DR, Group K. Portugal -370, Congo 10-1. The draw's +470. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals, +110. And then 4 o'clock on Fox, England, Croatia in Group L. England -140, Croatia +420, draw +270. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 116. All right, so there you have it for FIFA. All right, if you didn't listen to my NBA Finals podcast Sunday, you should. There was raw emotion coming out of me the first time I recorded a podcast after the Knicks won the title. There's a lot of New York subplots to this as well. I think Jalen Brunson, if I didn't mention this on Sunday, I'm going to say it. I think he's now the best athlete in New York, ahead of Aaron Judge. I did say that if Brunson won a title, that put him ahead of Aaron Judge. But Aaron Judge could take it right back if he single-handedly carries the Yankees to a championship this year. Or he would be like a tie. Because the Yankees are better equipped to do it with the depth they have now than they have in the past. But the case for Judge getting it back is if he puts the team on his back. Like how Brunson did here. And have like a legendary playoffs like Brunson did. I think that Jalen Brunson is also a top 5 player in the NBA. You got to say that now. He's won a title. The only players I would take over him are Wembanyama, SGA, and Jokic. And maybe Luka. Maybe. I know Luka's made the finals, but he never won it. So, you say top 4 or top 5. I put him 5th or 4th. But yeah, like I said, Jokic, SGA, and Wembanyama. Jalen Brunson is certainly the best player in the Eastern Conference. That's for sure. But in the entire, he's a top 5 player in the entire NBA. So that has to be said. Considering how you feel about SGA, whether he's a point guard or a shooting guard, I think it's fair to say Jalen Brunson's the best point guard in the NBA right now. He is a pure point guard. SGA to me is like a more of like a zero guard, kind of like Harden when Harden was in his prime, or Westbrook, kind of like Donovan Mitchell now, ironically enough. That's how I consider SGA a zero guard. Westbrook, I mean, you could argue Kobe was even like this, but to me, Kobe was a pure 2 guard. So Jalen Brunson definitely the best point guard in the NBA. I know Karl Anthony Towns had a disappointing finals, but some of that was because of poor whistles, so he had to sit down. But I think that his reputation has changed for the better. He was a big part of their run. He was fantastic in Game 1. And they don't win Game 1, or maybe they don't win the series without Karl Anthony Towns. Like I said the fuck them picks narrative is accurate, because they don't win the title without Mikal Bridges. This is the rare overpay in a trade where it works out, because he won the title. I think I brought that up. I brought up the Mike Brown, Joe Torre parallel on Sunday's show. I don't think I talked about the Spurs enough. I did bring up, though, that I think there's a chance that if the Spurs don't go back to the finals next year, then Greg Popovich is going to be their coach in 27. So that's something to look out for if they get to off to a slow start this year. If they're kind of 2016 Cavaliers from a standpoint of a slow start, and then they get rid of the coach, and when then that's a case for Popovich to pull a Pat Riley from that's more of a SVG Pat Riley comp than a David Blatt Ty Lue comp. This could be the SVG Pat Riley next year, possibly. I mean, a lot of people said that about the Celtics with Missoula and Brad Stevens, but that never happened. And it probably won't happen with them. But yeah, from an off-season standpoint, a lot of people seem to think that the Celtics are in on Giannis. I think I brought that up on the show on Sunday. But yeah, that's another story for another day. NBA mock draft I'm probably going to do later in the week, and then I'll obviously do one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. The Knicks parade is Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. It's going to be all over the local news channels. It'll be on SportsCenter. It'll be on ABC7 here in the New York metro area, and NBC4 and Fox 5 and CBS, Channel 2 here. It's going to be everywhere. And MSG is probably going to have the best coverage of it. I wonder if they're going to let Mike Breen speak at all at the ceremony. Obviously, it was a big series for him. I talked about him a lot on the show on Sunday and how much this Knicks title means to him and how special it is for the voice of the Knicks to finally call a Knicks title when he's the voice of the NBA Finals too. So this is a moment that Mike Breen is not going to take for granted. I said that on the show. And I saw social media posts. His daughter posted some pictures on Instagram of his family throughout the playoff run, and his daughter has a custom-made Mike Breen Bangs sweatshirt, which I thought, or jacket, like a jean jacket, which was pretty cool. I wanted to bring that up as well. We never got the triple bang in the series. We did get the triple it's good on the OG tip-in, though. But yeah, there's going to be more subplots and stuff once we get to news and notes. All right, golf over the weekend. We had the RBC Canadian Open. Want to touch on the results of that very quickly. And obviously we'll make a pick for the US Open on tomorrow's show. I'm just going to do top 25. Your winner with 17 under, Bud Cauley. Second, 15 under, Matt Fitzpatrick. Third, 14 under, Victor Hovland. Tied for fourth, 13 under, Jimmy Stranger, Bryce Garnett, Jesper Svensson, Jackson Suber. Tied for 8th, 12 under, Aldrich Pottinger, Sudarshan Yelmajaro, Ryan Fox. Tied for 11th, 11 under, Matthew Anderson, Jacob Bridgman, Wyndham Clark, Tommy Fleetwood. Tied for 15th with 10 under, Tom Kidd, Chandler Phillips, Doug Gibb, Robert McIntyre, Billy Horschel. Tied for 20th with 9 under, Keita Nakajima, Matthew Pavon, Eric Van Roy, and Alex Fitzpatrick, Emiliano Grillo, Max Homa, William L., Davis Ginn, Sam Burns. All right, so there you have it for golf. Now move on to NASCAR. We had the races from Pocono over the weekend. We'll start with the Cup Series. Your winner was Denny Hamlin, which was awesome. That's 3 wins in a row for Denny, obviously going on a great run after the passing of Kyle Busch. Second, Tyler Reddick. Third, William Byron. Fourth, John Hunter Nemechek. Fifth, Kyle Larson. Sixth, Eric Jones. Seventh, Chris Buescher. Eighth, Ross Chastain. Ninth, Ty Gibbs. 10th, Ryan Blaney. The rest, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Riley Herbst, Michael McDowell, Austin Hill, Todd Gilliland, Carson Hocevar, Bubba Wallace, AJ Allmendinger, Connor Zilch, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, Chris Bell, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece, Daniel Dyke, Cody Ware, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ty Dillon, Josh Berry, Joey Logano, Noah Gragson, Casey Mears, that's a throwback, Zane Smith, and Brad Keselowski. And then the NOAP Series from Pocono, that was Saturday. Your winner was Justin Allgaier. Second, Brent Cruz. Third, William Byron. Fourth, Sam Meyer. Fifth, Sheldon Creed. Fifth, Anthony Alfredo. Sixth, Roger Carruth. Eighth, Brandon Jones. Ninth, Connor Zilch. 10th, Carson Cavapel. The rest, Harrison Burton, Cole Custer, Dean Thompson, Austin Hill, Parker Retzlaff, Jeremy Clements, Taylor Gray, Brennan Poole, Sammy Smith, Blaine Perkins, William Salich, Josh Belicki, Nick Sanchez, Ryan Ellis, Patrick Starpoli, Ryan Sieg, Cody Ware, or Carson Ware, Jed Burton, LeVar Scott, Dexter Bean, Parker Emmerling, Kyle Sieg, Leyland Honeyman, Natalie Decker, Nathan Bird, Joey Gaze, Jesse Love, and Corey Day. All right, next week NASCAR will be in the Coronado Street Course in San Diego. And then the Cup race, it doesn't say if they're on the race course in San Diego. I guess they are, but they are racing on Father's Day, which is pretty interesting. So there you have it for NASCAR. I'm going to do Men's College World Series real quick. We will go over the results from the weekend and so far today. And then we'll look ahead to tonight and a little bit tomorrow afternoon. All right, Friday the 12th. Double elimination round, 16 seed West Virginia over Troy 7-5. And number 5 seed North Carolina over Ole Miss 6-2. Saturday double elimination, Oklahoma over number 7 Alabama 9-0. And number 3 Georgia over number 6 Texas 7-1. Sunday elimination game, Troy over Ole Miss 12-8. And double elimination, number 5 North Carolina over number 16 West Virginia 5-2. Elimination game, number 6 Texas over number 7 Alabama 14-2. And in double elimination, Oklahoma over number 3 Georgia 4-3. Going on right now, elimination game, number 16 West Virginia up 10-0 over Troy, so they'll survive and Troy will be done. And then big elimination game tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN between number 3 Georgia and number 6 Texas. Big SEC rivalry. Georgia minus 120, Texas minus 106, over under 11.5, minus 113 each way. Georgia minus 1.5 plus 128, Texas plus 1.5 minus 162. I like the under. And then double elimination round tomorrow, 2 o'clock on ESPN. It's number 5 North Carolina, and they'll play. They play Oklahoma? Or Oklahoma will play later. But yeah, I don't know how that works. I guess West Virginia will play North Carolina, and then Georgia Texas winner will play in prime time against Oklahoma. Yeah, that's probably how it's going to play out. All right, so there you have it for Men's College World Series. All right, on this day, brought to you by All Sports News. We'll go from Saturday to Monday. We don't have today's yet. All right, on this day, June 13th, which is Saturday. 2019 Toronto Raptors win the NBA Finals in 6 games over the Golden State Warriors. That was the game Klay Thompson tore his ACL in, as that is listed here on this day as well. And that was Kawhi Leonard's second ring. 2014 Los Angeles Kings win the Stanley Cup Final over the New York Rangers in double overtime at the Alec Martinez game. 2023 Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup Final. They beat the Florida Panthers, who were on that Cinderella run that year. 2015 Indians call up Francisco Lindor. Wow. And the Twins call up Byron Buxton. Wow. 2024 Trevor Lawrence's mega extension. 2019 Shohei Ohtani hits for the cycle. 2023 the Rangers hire Peter Laviolette. 2019 Broncos owner Pat Bowlen passes away. 2018 U.S. Mexico Canada bid awarded. 2026 World Cup. And 2016 Cavaliers force NBA Finals Game 6. So there you have it for June 13th, June 14th, which is Sunday. 2022 the Golden Knights hire Bruce Cassidy. Maybe they hire him again after making that mistake with Torts, who's not back. 2021 Rangers hired Gerard Gallant. That didn't work out. Really, it was pretty much the Laviolette era. 2016 the NHL chooses Las Vegas as expansion city. 2015 Warriors take 3-2 NBA Finals lead. 2024 Astros release Jose Abreu. 2016 Ducks hire Randy Carlyle. 2018 Russia defeats Saudi Arabia in the World Cup opener. 2015, Max Scherzer throws 1 hit, 16 strikeout shutout. 2019, Jake Bauers hits for the cycle. 2023, Vinny Pasquantino out for the year for the Royals. 2024, Lions signed Jake Bates, and Mavericks force NBA Finals Game 5. That was that Luka heroic game in Game 4. And then on this day, from yesterday, June 15th, 2014, San Antonio Spurs won the NBA Finals over the Miami Heat in 5 games. 2019, the Lakers acquire Anthony Davis. 2015, Giants acquire Rafael Devers. 2015, Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup Final. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6. 2013, Alex Ovechkin named NHL MVP. 2018, Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio. They traded him that summer. 2015, Nuggets hire Michael Malone. 2025, Magic acquired Desmond Bane. They got him in the middle of the finals. That's weird. 2015, Padres fire Bud Black. Cubs call up Kyle Schwarber. Also in 2025, JJ Spawn wins the U.S. Open. And in 2019, the Yankees acquire Edwin Encarnacion. And then the one for today just came out. We'll do it. 2015, Golden State Warriors win the NBA Finals. That was when they beat Cleveland in 6. And they also won the finals on the day in 2022 where they beat the Boston Celtics. 2014, Tony Gwynn passes away. 2016, Cavaliers force NBA Finals Game 7. That was the game after the Draymond suspension. 2023, John Morant suspended 25 games for a gun incident. 2021, LaMelo Ball named NBA Rookie of the Year. 2022, the Flyers hire John Tortorella. That's weird. 2021, Wizards and Scott Brooks part ways. 2024, Bryson DeChambeau wins the U.S. Open. 2021, the Pelicans fire Stan Van Gundy. 2017, the Bucks named John Horst GM. And 2018, Iceland, Argentina draw 1-1 in the World Cup. All right, so there you have it for on this day officially. And now I'll move on to news notes. We talked about John Tortorella's firing and how I said that, or him not returning, how that I felt it was a mistake, and I think maybe they win the cup if Bruce Cassidy's their coach instead of John Tortorella. Phillies prospect Gabriel Rincon Jr.'s first big league hit was a home run. How about this? Darren Peterson's only visiting the Wizards as he doesn't plan on to meet with the Jazz, and AJ DiBenstanza met with both. Caitlin Clark teases signature shoe as she updates her Instagram was to hear the start of a Nike Caitlin 1 rollout. Christian Pulisic is injured, but they're not concerned about him missing time. Alvin Kamara reacted to Jameis Winston helping out with the World Cup cleanup. Alex Sarra's foot surgery, as he's expected to be ready for the start of the season. That's good news for the Wizards. Darren Peterson's medical is not concerned as his injury history has not raised issues. A lot of people think he's going top 2. I think there's a chance he goes 3 or 4. The Brendan Sorby situation, it came out that he was going to the supplemental draft as he could be the highest drafted supplemental pick in decades. And as he's officially to become ineligible under NCAA ruling, clearing the way to enter the supplemental draft. And he says goodbye to Texas Tech, and they've confirmed that he will not be a member of the team in the fall. Steve Sarkisian says that Arch Manning may skip the draft as he said NIL endorsements could keep him in school. Jalen Brunson gave Dan Hawson props as he says you have to believe in his uncursing. James Dolan saw the future in April. There was a video that came out as he's talking to the team, and he said he knew the team could win it all in the video before the playoff run. Jay Wright says that Mike Brown, perfect choice to lead Knicks to a championship. Turns out it actually was perfect. Knicks title gear sets record as top Fanatics seller across all sports within the first 24 hours of championship. That doesn't surprise me at all. Mitchell Robinson's a priority for the Knicks as they intend to make Mitchell Robinson an offer that will keep him. That should be their priority. Steph congratulates Mike Brown on his on the title. The Giannis trade talks are ramping up as negotiations have intensified over the last 7 to 10 days. So multiple arrests of the FBI. This drops planned attacks targeting White House UFC show. Director says that's not great. The Williams sisters to make Wimbledon come back as wildcard double entries, so that's pretty cool. The Bulls hired Tiago Splitter as he is taking over in Chicago. So we'll see who Portland brings in. Cyril Kane knocks out Alex Pereira in the UFC heavyweight title at the White House. And Justin Gaethje beats Topuria at the White House too. Cam Jordan back to the Saints 1-year deal. That's awesome. Jets guard Joe Tippmann 4-year extension. $66.4 million, $34.9 million guaranteed. Kyle Calder passes away at the age of 47. 5 teams in 11 years. Thoughts and prayers go out there to his family, friends, and ex-teammates. The NHL to investigate Mike Babcock's resignation from Columbus a couple years ago. I wonder if someone's trying to hire him. Brendan Sorsby pro date as his workout for NFL teams tentatively scheduled for July 10th in Texas. Browns unlikely for Sorsby as they're not expected to bid on him in the supplemental draft. Of course it comes out and says that. They fucking should. They're the joke of professional sports. Stephon Diggs is interested in the Commanders as he said he's working through some things with them. Rashee Rice released after 30-day jail stint for car crash probation violation. So he's out of jail, but I don't think he's going to be playing for the Chiefs. George Pickens not planning a holdout. That's good. So the sad news of the weekend, Aldon Smith passed away, the former 49er, at age 37. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and ex-teammates. That's just really sad news that dropped last night. And his family will have the brain examined for signs of CTE. So that came out. There's some hockey trades. So the Flyers and the Maple Leafs made a trade. Some role players involved. So Philly gets Joseph Wall, the goalie, and Simone Benoit. Toronto gets Samuel Urson, Emil Andore, and a 2026 third round pick from Philly. So that's an interesting trade. I think Joseph Wall is probably the biggest name in the trade. We'll see how that works out. We talked about John Tortorella being out. Ross Colton got traded to the Predators from the Avalanche. And they also get Isaac Posh. And going back to Colorado, 2 third-round picks and Magnus Chirona. I like that addition for Nashville, getting Colton. The All-Star vote getters came out. Judge was not on top of the American League ballot, which doesn't surprise me because of his injury. And in the National League, obviously Ohtani's the top guy. We don't have time to go over the lists. Walker Kessler at odds with the Jazz as he's unhappy with team's handling of free agency status. I think he's going to be traded. The Bucks are not in love with the Heat's offer for Giannis, and the Celtics are willing to extend him if they were to get him. But then it comes out that Giannis trade is unlikely for the Celtics as people around the NBA skeptical as Celtics unsure if they want to move Jaylen Brown. The Cavaliers are shopping Dennis Schroeder. That does not surprise me. Two teams eyeing Micah Nori, the Mavs and the Blazers. I forgot the Mavs job's open. The Wizards want a Godfather offer for the #1 pick as they are to toy with plans to draw out of interest in the #1 pick. So we'll see what happens there. Logan Webb off limits as the Giants are talking about selling. There's some Knicks at the World Cup game. For France, Senegal, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby. The Heat may pursue Trae Young as they could turn their attention to a big fish target if they failed to land Giannis. How is that a big fish? And plus, didn't he just get traded? And the Padres got hit with suspensions because of the brawl. The pitcher gets 3 games. Manager receives 1 for intentionally hitting the batter. All right, so there you have it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple I like. But my favorite one on the board is the under. This is a crazy one. The under in Jays Red Sox. Usually Jays Red Sox is an auto over. I like the under here. Dylan Cease and Peyton Tolley have both been really good this year, so I'm going to go with the under 7.5 in that one at -115. So there you have it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.